Hello from a very exhausted UK. I'm joking. Hope everyone's all right. How are you, Ashley?
I'm good. Some days I feel like I'm surviving, much like you feel at the current moment in time, but we're chugging along.
Well, chugging along, and yeah, I know I missed it a couple of weeks ago, but I'm here. 3 weeks off the Warriors, technically. Yeah. But if you think about it, and this ties into tonight's topic, is because I had a burnout about 3-4 weeks ago, and I was on it, but I was having a complete backed off from social media like Facebook, TikTok. I was having a real back off it. But yeah, I was still going on it from time to time, like having 5-10 minutes, but I was completely, no, I wasn't really getting into it.
I'd be curious to see what would happen if you would take like a, say, 7-day social media fast, like, and not do anything with social media, how you would handle it.
Is that a challenge?
I mean, if you want it to be, I can push it to like 2 weeks instead of 7.
All right, 7 days. 7 days, no social media. But that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, but that means you can't post, you can't look at it, you can't do anything on any of the social media platforms. You can be a messenger if you choose, but no scrolling any feeds, no putting any posts out there, like no scheduling anything. It's literally 0 social media for 7 days.
See, that's a bit hard.
Yeah.
No, hear me out. I want to do it, but on TikTok, what I do twice a week is I go live on there. Like on Monday nights, I host a live quiz.
Yeah, but you could set it up where you're going to tell your audience in your live of, hey guys, this will be the last live for, a week. I'll be back on this date because I'm going to challenge myself. And this is where our topic comes in tonight, as far as where energy is protected. Your energy is literally being drained out of you by constantly being on social media and all the platforms that you go on, that you go live on, that you maintain. So when you step away from those platforms and you give yourself true rest and presence, not just with yourself, but also with your family, it's a completely different comeback, if you will. And
you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 7 days because I figured it out. Because the Monday quiz, I can do that. But then next Friday, I normally go live in the mornings and talk about mental health and addiction with a guest. I ain't got one next week. Got one tomorrow, but I ain't got one next week. So that's my week right there, Monday to Monday.
Well, and you would have to figure out as far as how next week goes, because obviously if we're live here for the Mental Health Warriors, you are still doing your posting. So you're either going to have to send moi all of the things that you want posted, either in an email or a Facebook message, because again, it's about protecting that energy. And if social media is an energy sucker for you, where you find yourself constantly up your phone to go on social media, that's, again, it's not just an addiction, but it's literally draining your energy with all of the negativity that's on social media. That zaps out your energy. And how much more present could you be with your kids, with your wife, in your life day to day if you weren't on your phone and on social media?
You know what? What I'm going to do is I've got an idea for that one, but I'll tell you. No, we've already discussed it. I'll do that. I'll do the Monday, but then from that, I'm going to completely delete all social media. So Facebook, but obviously I'll keep the Messenger. I'll delete Facebook, delete TikTok, delete WhatsApp, and delete YouTube, if I can delete YouTube. And yeah, for a week.
You can't go on it on your computer, though, either.
No, I know. But the Warriors, though, obviously I have to be on that, don't I?
As far as next week for the...
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be. Nick and I are here. We can figure it out. You just send me what questions you want me to ask.
I've already created the link and everything.
Okay, well.
But it won't be breaking it, though.
If you just sign into StreamYard, technically that's not breaking it, no.
No.
You just can't go into the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Or post all the marketing stuff.
No.
You have to give me all of that.
I will. There you go. That's a challenge. So from Monday at 10:30 p.m. my time, that's it. Social media's gone for a week.
Okay, we'll see.
There you go. I said that live. Right.
Yeah, you did. Now the world has heard it.
Yes. So there you go. So 1 week. So protecting our energy. I've actually got a list of questions here.
Well, let's talk about what it means first.
Yeah.
Because
what does it mean to you? That's what I was going to ask.
Okay, so honestly, it's not becoming a cold human being or becoming disconnected. It's being more intentional with who and what we give our energy to. Yeah. So relationships, there are specific relationships that are draining to our energy levels, right?
Oh, yes.
There are specific rooms that we put ourselves in that also can be very draining to our energy levels. So it's about having a discernment. It's about having a that quote unquote like gut feeling of this I don't think is for me anymore type of a situation. So, because go ahead. Yeah.
So I hear you, but what is the difference when it comes to that? When it comes to that particular area, what's the difference between protecting our energy from hurt, judging, all that, compared to setting boundaries? Because there can be a difference.
Yeah, there can be, but they go hand in hand. So you can't have one without the other, I feel like. In my opinion, anyway. Because if you're intentionally not entering a space or a relationship or maintaining a relationship with a person because they're very energy draining, you're in reality setting a boundary with them. Yeah. It's not something that you're vocally saying or speaking out loud, but it becomes again, like we talked about a few weeks ago, I'm not available for that.
Yeah.
Or that doesn't work for me. That's what it becomes. And when you set that standard and that boundary enough times, just by that phrase, people start to get the hint and they might start to hold you at arm's length because they're like, well, every time I ask her to do something, she says no. So is there a disconnect in the relationship, or they'll just kind of like, they'll fall off themselves? It's kind of like the whole, not process of elimination, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like self-selection, if you will, right? They'll kind of just, they'll wander the other direction. And it's not because you're being rude. It's just, you know where your energy and your mental capacity is. And if this particular person is constantly draining that energy, maybe every couple of times they ask you to do something, you'll say yes, but you set a time boundary around it of, okay, I can have lunch, but I have a hard stop at XYZ time because I have another appointment. Right? Like you get to pick how much energy you want to devote and put into that person at that particular time.
Yeah. So, where am I? So, why do so many people, and this is from your experience as well, because I think we've both done this, why do so many people stay connected to toxic energy even when they know it's hurting them?
Most times it's out of guilt.
Maybe it's because fear of being alone.
Yeah. It's that. It's fear of disappointing other people.
People pleasing, yeah.
Yeah, people pleasing.
Yeah.
That's probably the top one, is people pleasing. Because again, there is an underlying fear of rejection, of disappointment, of if I tell them no, I'm going to appear selfish, I'm going to appear controlling. Like it's an appearance type thing. Like I don't want them to think badly of me. I don't want them to think XYZ, because we're so attached to what people think and say and feel about us, when in reality that isn't our responsibility to control.
Yeah. And it's like, it's going back to that, in it, where we feel alone even in a packed out room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to be honest, even still, some parts of me even today looks for reassurance to say if I'm doing a good job or not, even though I shouldn't.
It's the validation. I think that's just part of our human nature, to be validated that we are doing a good job, that we are doing something right, that we aren't a complete screw up, right? And it's based off of our past experiences. If in the past, in certain scenarios and situations, you did say miss the boat or you did screw up, you have a underlying fear in the back of your head of, what if I do it again?
Yeah.
What if that happens again? So it's like that what if game that you play in your head, in that mental ping pong.
Yeah. Would you say you're an empath?
I mean, I can be.
Okay.
I would say.
So why do empaths attract emotionally wounded people? That's a good one.
It is. Well,
Can come back to that one.
We might have to come back to that one.
We'll come back to that one. Hey.
I'm curious what you would say for that one, though.
Okay, well, see, I've got an old answer for that, but I've possibly got a new one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the old one, I'd say, is part of us maybe feels sorry for them.
Mm-hmm.
That they're vulnerable, and we've still hold on to this big ego, and all that, but that's not always the case, because even though they feel alone, like if I see an emotionally wounded person, my experience comes back straight away that I was once in that spot and I felt alone, and I weren't speaking out or anything like that. I don't want them to experience the same.
Yeah, and that's part of, I think, what also happens is because we have, when you're in that like empathetic state of being, you have so much like empathy and understanding that oftentimes that's what it attracts, because of the fact that you can see like wounds and pains and hurts and all of that. But what can get you really stuck in that constant, say, energy sucking is because you leave the door open too long. Like, there comes a point where you can be empathetic and you can be kind, but you don't have to carry their energy draining, their toxicity, their drama, their trauma. And I think what happens is we try to carry the trauma of other people. So when we try to carry the trauma of other people, then we will tolerate certain negative behaviors longer, because again, like you said, you don't want them to feel like they're left in the dust or another person is leaving them, right? So there is a way that you can close that door and set the boundaries to it. But, and I don't want to say like you have to tread lightly, but it's setting those boundaries and being consistent with them from the get-go. And if you feel like they're trying to treat you like their therapist, that's where you turn around and you say, I appreciate you trusting me enough to come to me, but I'm not a therapist, and I say this in all love. That's where I think you need to take this, is to therapy or to XY. Like, you refer them. Like, I am not emotionally available for all of this trauma dumping. Like, I want to be able to hear you and I want to be able to be present with you, but that's not my job or my responsibility or my role in this relationship. Like, you know, and be kind, but yeah.
So, obviously, I had to do it. Have you ever walked away from a situation or even a relationship, obviously to protect your peace, protect your energy and welfare, but at the same time it was painful that you was walking away because of that particular situation, and you felt, am I hurting him?
I would say probably my husband's biological mom. I would say we had to very much set boundaries, and we had to keep her at arm's length and also be very tough love with her. And it was uncomfortable. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but it was to protect our home. It was to protect our children. And honestly, I didn't have tolerance for it. So it became not my circus, not my monkeys. If you want to destroy your life, fine, you destroy your life, but you're not sucking me into it with you, because I've listened to your constant victimhood and victim mentality over and over and over again, and now I'm done. Because you refuse to change, I can't want change for you more than you want change for you. So peace.
Yeah. No. It makes sense. It really does, because obviously going back to the drinking days and stuff like that, and even through when sober days as well, I was walking away from a particular situation with Kerry or Kerry's family, XYZ, and I later felt guilty because I was walking away from the kids as well. even though that was never intentional.
Right.
Because they needed me at that point, and I was never there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I came back.
Well, and I mean, sometimes there has to be some sort of wake-up call.
Yeah. Yeah.
In order to really figure out and realize that sometimes we happen to be the common denominator, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So
I had a coach say once, when I was going through my coaching certification, she had said, she goes, don't jump in the pool with people. Like, you can coach them through it, but don't get in their pool of woe is me and negativity. Like, if they can't see a way past it, you jumping in the pool with them is not going to be helpful, because then you have coach and coach E in the same pool of woe is me, and that's not helpful to be able to see a different perspective.
Yeah. So no, I started laughing because I seen the next question, and that was, would you say this little bit is overstepping boundaries? Because why do people only get in touch with us when they want something or need something? Because I believe that's not valuing our space and valuing us as people.
I've also had a lot of coaches tell me, tell people you love them, so then they're there when you do truly need something. Like, be the type of friend that doesn't always need something, and you tell them you love them and you appreciate them, and have conversation with them, so then they are there when you do truly need something. Versus being in a relationship with somebody who is a constant taker, because that's what that is. They haven't learned a relationship is a give and a take. It isn't just a take, or isn't just a give.
Yeah.
Because if you're in just a give relationship, you will have zero energy. You will live in resentment. You will live in burnout, and you will live in bitterness. If you feel taken advantage of.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And there's been many times when, for example, I popped up to someone, and you're one of them as well, Ashley, where I've asked, how are you? Because I'm being absolute open and genuine, and I get, what's up? But, hang on a minute, I'm being sincere here. I'm asking how you're checking in to see how you are.
I know, and honestly, it's I have very few people that do that. Very few people.
Maybe that's why.
So it becomes what do you need? Like,
I don't need anything. I'm checking in.
And I know. And we have this conversation all the time. And like I said, it becomes.
And she still forgets.
Like, stop it, okay? I have just as much crap on my plate as you have on yours. Not more. But like, when you're not used to people necessarily doing that, just to check in on you to make sure you're okay. And I have a lot more people now because I've intentionally created that circle of people that will intentionally do that. But it takes a while to get there to know, like, hey, they don't want anything from me. They just want to make sure I'm okay, right? So, yeah.
See, I was just in a TikTok live about just about a couple of hours ago, and we got talking about domestic violence and stuff like that, and I basically popped up and said, I can relate because I've not really had that true friend. And then someone who I've known for quite a bit, she popped up and said, oh, thanks, I'm not your friend anymore, with laughing emojis. I normally would have took that seriously. Mm-hmm. But then she's explained when she puts those laughing emojis, she's she's joking. And now I've realized that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we really have to look at what does, and this goes back to everybody, giving everybody over access to us, right?
Yeah.
We have to look at what does it cost us when people have unlimited access to us. It typically costs us our peace, right? It costs us our energy. It costs us so many things. So when you start protecting that, you really begin to find out who benefited from you not protecting your peace and not setting boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's within ourselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can give too much to get to receive too little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why when I am coaching with clients, we discuss sometimes they're non-negotiables. Like what becomes a non-negotiable for you, especially when I was heavily coaching for self-care and in self-care.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't do that now, but now it becomes more about the boundary setting, and it becomes more about like, why are we operating from those roles versus our true identity? Because when we're operating from roles and we don't know who we really are, we let the analogy I used in my Not Everyone Deserves Access workshop was, look at yourself like a strainer.
Okay.
And it has all these holes in it. And when you are allowing people all of this access to you, and like this toxic person and this toxic and this, all of that energy is literally coming out all of these holes. And at some point, you've got nothing left in there because it's all fallen through the hole. So you got to start doing it by setting those boundaries. And no, I'm not available for that. No, I don't have the capacity to take that on. I had to do this a couple weeks ago. I had to reschedule a call with somebody because I had literally been sitting in this chair at this desk, back-to-back meetings, all the things. And I was just like, I have to reschedule this because I am to capacity and I want to be able to be present for our conversation. And I can't do that right now. So I need to reschedule this. I typically, very rarely will I reschedule calls.
Yeah.
So it's knowing your limits.
So you would say you was not absorbing other people's negativity?
It wasn't even necessarily the negativity that
or even your own.
Well, yeah, because it was like, I need to rest. I need to pay attention to what my body is telling me. So peace out. I'm just going to go lay in bed for now. And I took like a 20-minute nap and it felt glorious. And then I binge watched TV. It was great. So it's one of those things of knowing when you've reached your limit, that you cannot take on the capacity of one more thing, because it will disrupt your energy and it will disrupt your peace. And my energy was already at 0. It was the first day of my liquid only fast a couple weeks ago. I had to
cranky. I'm joking.
Well, and that was the thing. It's not that I was cranky. I was just exhausted. I was taking a nap at my desk. But again, it's recognizing that. And instead, some will be like, yeah, I'm exhausted, but yep, I'll take on that meeting. Yep, I'll make that appointment. No, why? Why are you trying to fit people into your schedule?
Yeah. So how can people raise their vibration after trauma?
Well, first of all, you got to do the inner work. You have to process the traumas, you have to process the emotions, because if you ignore them and you stuff them and avoid them and push them aside, you're going to live in victimhood. You're going to live in the pain and the woe is me and the anger and frustration, and you're not going to be able to reach that joy level. Or even like the quote unquote happiness level, right? Mm-hmm. Even though happiness really is not, in my mind, a true emotion. Like, it's a feeling.
See, I do. I do think happiness is a true emotion.
I look at it as joy. Like true joy. Because happiness is fleeting. Happiness can like, oh, I'm happy 1 minute. The minute you stub your toe, are you still happy? You see what I mean?
It's like when someone, and Kerry's done it before, where she's punched, obviously playfully, my funny bone. It hurts, but it's laughable.
Oh, the funny bone isn't so funny.
It's not, is it? It's not. No. Even standing on Lego barefoot during the night.
Yeah, that's not either. That's like stepping on a sharp rock outside. Through your shoe. Been there, done that.
Yeah. See, and that comes with the difference, doesn't it, between happiness and being grateful. The gratitude. Yeah.
Well, and I think, and I just got, and I'm really excited to keep using it, but I just got, it's a daily gratitude journal.
That is big.
It's real big. And I like it because it says in here, you've got like the things that I'm grateful for. I know it's really hard to read, but things I'm grateful for. And then you've got some like affirmations where it says, I am, I accept, I release. And then you can write like your today's mantra on it. And today's priorities, what's your main focus, slaying the day, and your intentions, and then highlights of the day, tomorrow I'm looking forward to. And then it gives like a space for free thoughts. Like, what are some thoughts that you need to get out on paper or whatever?
See, I like that. But me and you have got different approaches with that, because you're obviously all for bettering ourselves from yesterday, and then how can we better ourselves tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think about tomorrow because tomorrow's not guaranteed, and I live every day like today's my last day alive.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like, oh my gosh, this is what I have to get done tomorrow, unless it's something that, you know, I knew I was supposed to do today and didn't necessarily do. Like, I have a bunch of voicemails and phone calls I need to respond to, and I've been in meetings all day. So it's one of those things of, you know, if I get to it, I get to it. If I don't, I don't, you know, but I don't necessarily try, or I shouldn't even say try. I don't necessarily put my focus on, oh yeah, this is tomorrow. Now, before I go to bed, do I like peek at my schedule for the following day so I can make sure that I'm prepared for whatever is on my schedule? Yeah, I'll look at it, but it's not like I set my life based off of that all the time. Like, if I intentionally take Fridays off, so I only do client meetings or stuff like that Monday through Thursday. I take
now we know why Ashley prefers to do the worries on Thursdays.
I take Fridays off now. And then that allows me, if I want to have lunch with somebody, if I want to go to the gym, if I want to do, you know, a pedicure with a friend, or if I want to do something for myself or whatever I don't, you know, get done during the week, I take Friday, and that's the day that I clean the house, I do my errands, I do what I need to do.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So my Monday through Thursday gets very full very quickly.
Yeah. So, what's your biggest lesson from emotional pain? I would say walking away and letting go.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think for me, it's been I don't need to be something I'm not.
Yeah.
And I don't have to give people access to me.
See, yeah, I'm doing the same because obviously I'm part of a community on TikTok as well, and obviously WhatsApp now, and obviously when I go live, I'm watching who comes in, who's supporting my lives. But when they go live, if they haven't been in my life, I won't go into theirs because it's all about supporting each other. And I see TikTok as a basically what a community building app, and I used to do that where I'm always going into their lives and supporting them, but I was never giving it back, and that caused me a severe anxiety. And I thought, why are they not here? And it caused fear and all that. So I'm like, no. So I spoke with a few friends about that, and they went, don't expect people to come into your life. It's that simple. So I'm like, right, I've got these 3 different people that come into my lives. I'm now going to go and support them. And I stuck with that.
Well, and that goes back to the give and take. Like,
Yeah.
if you're giving and they're not reciprocating anything, then, you know, what I don't want to say benefit, but really in reality, like, what benefit are they to the relationship?
I agree. I wouldn't say they're friends. I say they're acquaintances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So, same question, but towards yourself, not other people, to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. What emotional pain? Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, when you start on the healing journey, what did you do for yourself? Because obviously, we both know that we've not always loved ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hired coaches.
Okay.
Got into my Bible and deeper into my faith just because, like, I knew that I couldn't walk the journey with an expectation that my husband needed to be the healing for me.
Yeah.
I had to find it on my own, if you will, and digging into my faith was one of the ways that I did that. And then, like I said, hiring coaches, because you can always, when you step out of your own viewpoint, if you will, and start working with people that are not just encouraging to you, but they are willing to challenge you because they love you too much to leave you the way that you are, it gives you a different perspective because they see things in you that you don't see in yourself. They believe things about you that you don't believe about yourself. So if you don't have that self-belief, you have the ability to grab on to the belief that they have in you. And when you can grab onto that, you can cultivate it and you can shape it and change it ultimately. And I will say that that is a big reason why we're even sitting here today.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for the coaches that I specifically put into my life, I wouldn't be on this podcast. I would have been like, you're crazy. I'm not going live on Facebook. I'm not speaking to hundreds, thousands. I'm not going to blast myself all over social media. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to grow this. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be on stages, if you will. And ultimately this YouTube, channel is a stage. It's a platform.
Yeah.
And there's no way I would have envisioned that for myself, because I was like playing this big over here.
Okay. It's like the devil and the angel on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Essentially.
These next two questions, I know you're going to nick them and put them in your coaching classes. I know. The first one is, are the people around you feeding your soul or draining it?
Again, it goes back to the intentionality of who I allow in my life. So there are some people that are very much draining to my energy, but I limit the amount of time I spend with them. So I would say that probably 98% of the people that are in my life are ones that fill my energy.
Fill from
you can't count your children as energy suckers, because they are, but yet they live in your home. Like, that is an extension of you. So you can't count your kids, friends. Okay. Otherwise, I would say I got about 1% on my side, which is my husband, and the rest, well, take for it what you will.
and the other one is, yeah, exactly, Robert. Now Ashley does know what a stage. You can always use your children to test your dad jokes. There you go. Right, anyway, the next question is, what are you finally ready to release?
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Okay, I just have to say, I have had almost this exact question asked of me 3 different times this week.
Really?
Monday? No, not Monday. Tuesday, I was asked in a networking, what decision are you avoiding for your business?
This is going to be good.
Right? Then yesterday, I was also asked something very similar, because it was about what leaders make powerful decisions. Yeah, leaders make powerful decisions. So what decision are you avoiding making in your business? So it was asked again. And then one of my coaches just changed some of our reflection questions that we have to answer every week on her call. And one of the things was, I literally just had them pulled up. I
can ask a different one.
What truth about my business have I been avoiding? So, okay. No, ask the question again, because I went off on my tangent. What?
Well, would you rather have that one, or would you rather have a stronger one?
What? There's more?
There's more?
Oh, jeez. Okay,
would you rather have the original one, what are you finally ready to release? Or would you rather have this one, what does your future self need you to protect today?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, talk about on the spot.
Now I just relate to my client that I had a call with yesterday, and she was like, does anybody struggle to answer these questions, or is it just me? I was like, no. I said, it's because you don't get asked these questions, so it's hard to answer. Oh my gosh.
There is another one, if you want that one.
What's the third one?
Right, the third one then. Will you choose healing over chaos?
Well, I mean, I feel like I've done that.
But have you broken the cycle?
I would say most of them.
Okay.
I'm sure there are some that I haven't necessarily 100% broken.
Why?
But I've become very aware of certain things that happen. I think there still ends up being some sort of underlying like guilt, especially when you're talking like family and then you have kids involved. And yes, there is a certain level of protection you want to put on your children, but yeah, there's also like, is this going to be used against me where my children are going to like look at me as the enemy because I set specific boundaries with grandma and grandpa?
I'm like that currently.
People. So it's like it's a fine line. So sometimes it's a that doesn't work for me. Do you have a different date? Because I just don't want to deal with it. Or it becomes I don't want to have that conversation because what's the point?
Yeah.
So it's like a pick your battles kind of a thing. I don't know.
Okay. So going back to this cycle that you've done most of it, you've broken most of it. I'm going to sound like a freaking coach here. What is stopping you breaking the rest?
Again, I think it goes back to that like that underlying guilt.
Guilt of what?
Well, again, like I said, it's the I don't want my children to resent me because I set specific boundaries in place.
So you'll be basically doing it on the what ifs.
I mean,
that sound of fear.
Well, and it's not that I'm necessarily.
This is psychology hitting right now.
I don't want to necessarily say that it's out of fear, but it's also like
you maybe not be you're not ready to do the rest.
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And again, I pick and choose my battles, and I set the boundaries that I need to set, and then I just let it be, unless something further comes up where then I feel like, yep, nope, I draw the line here.
Yeah.
So I think it's situational too. It really is.
Okay. Do you know, I think I've been putting you on the spot enough tonight.
Yeah. Like, how about you answer some of these questions?
Bring it on, then. Bring it on.
Jeez.
By the way, it wasn't me that came up with these questions. It was ChatGPT.
I know. Here's the question for you. How much of our exhaustion is coming from what we consume daily?
The kids.
And?
I would say me being exhausted has come from a mix of the kids taking on too much and I'm being a husband to someone with BPD, because it is very draining. And what also caused me to be exhausted is, like, I've only said this on TikTok Live. I've not actually said it before, but obviously I'm used to staying busy, really busy. When I backed off everything, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what direction to turn. And my mental health over the last week or so hasn't been the great. It has actually took a dip. And again, I don't know what... I even today, I still don't know what direction to turn to. Because, again, I used to be busy, and when I'm not being as busy as I usually am, it impacts me. It impacts my identity. I don't want to completely stop and all this negativity hit me all at once.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is like when we're so incredibly busy, our minds are distracted. And that's where we feel like if we slow down, we get into the mindset of I'm behind. What am I forgetting? What am I missing? Because it allows us to be alone with ourselves and to like
reflect
through things and reflect. So that's scary for most people. That's why we just stay incredibly busy, leading to the burnout and the exhaustion, because again, we don't know how to be alone with ourselves.
I agree. And I can admit right now, I am a little scared of what will come. I am. Because spending time with Kerry, like for example, like last night, we were just relaxing on the settee, watching something on Netflix, and my phone was buzzing every 30 seconds with a message. I was completely just ignoring it. Like I could hear it, and it was annoying me a little bit because I wanted to check it, but I didn't check it for like an extra after about a couple of hours spending time with Kerry. But it's because those texts could have been important. I don't know. I can't remember if they were or not. But yeah, I'm scared of stopping and my thoughts catching up with me. I'm scared.
Well, and that's why I recommend having a journal. Like even men can obviously journal too.
Yeah.
But having a journal to be able to write those thoughts down, because the thing is, the more you are with your thoughts and with yourself, if you will, the more repetitive those thoughts will come, right? And you have to have a way to process through them to be able to make sure that you aren't in
fight or flight mode. I can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted.
There. Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Did I cut out before?
No, you just muted.
Okay, well, my kid has the AirPods and it all of a sudden connected to him. So I was like, oh crap. But no, like having a journal to be able to journal out those thoughts, because it allows you to process through them. And it's what I call brain dumping. And I tell my clients to do this. Like, have a journal and just write out your thoughts. It doesn't matter if they repeat. It doesn't matter if stuff is spelt wrong. Like, you just write and you keep writing until you feel like you've written all the things out. You cross it off. And this is what something a coach had taught me to do. She's like, you cross it off, you crumple it up, you throw it away. You don't go back and look at what you wrote. It doesn't matter. It's getting all of those thoughts out on paper, because the more they're in your head, the fuller it gets. And then the more you're going to dwell on them and you're going to think about them and all the things. And it's not to say that those thoughts aren't going to come up throughout the day, but it gives you a clearer mind when your mind is empty.
See, what I do, and I feel like that's my mistake, is I've got a keep notes, like a notepad on my phone, and every time thoughts come in, I type it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But then I come out of it. But then when I want to go and put something else, like look at what other notes I've got, it's there. It's there, so it's repeating.
Yeah. So I would implore you to do it on paper instead. So then you can throw it away.
I've got a burner bin outside.
Yeah.
So I'll just burn it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is. So
I'm looking to see if there's any other questions I have for you. Let's see. How do you know when your energy has been drained too long?
Because I become overtired and I'm like falling asleep at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which I never do. Yeah.
So when you decide, or starting on Monday, when you take this social media fast, you're going to have to make sure, though, that you set notification boundaries, even for Messenger, and you make sure that your phone doesn't notify you every 5 seconds.
Well, what I'm going to be doing is deleting like WhatsApp and TikTok and Facebook. I'm deleting everything.
Yeah, and but then, if people contact you via Facebook Messenger, those notifications will still be there.
Yes.
So you'll have to, it might come down to, you might have to mute some specific conversations or notifications just in general for Messenger during that 7 days.
Or what I could do is get Kerry to check them for me.
If she's willing.
Of course she will. But yeah.
Because I think it becomes you need to take the 7 days for your own mental break.
Yeah.
And then it gives you the opportunity to also then set boundaries around coming back. Like, what am I going to allow coming back from this social media fast? As far as people having access to me, how often they have access to me. Do I set some office hours, if you will, where I'm available from this time to this time? And if you send me a message beyond that, it'll be 24 to 48 hours before I get back to you.
Yeah. Would Zoom be classed as social media?
No.
Good. Because I'll be doing meetings.
Well, and if that's for your... If that's for that, then no, that's not social media. That's helping you with your mental health.
Exactly, yeah. So, do we choose peace? Peace. Yeah. See, it's even okay to have a little bit of negativity in our lives. That's healthy. But it's how much is enough.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It gives you the opportunity to grow. When you don't let negativity bother you anymore, or you jump into the pool of negativity, it gives you that measuring stick to see how far you've grown and how far you've come.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it.
Let me see if there's any more. Are you ready? And this is the final one. Are you ready to stop shrinking yourself for toxic people?
I feel like I've done a lot of that already. To answer yes, compared to where I was.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's a work in progress.
I don't think we will ever truly achieve 100% success in that area.
Never say never.
Because
when there's a will, there's a way.
Well, and I'm not saying that you're not going to get close, but there is always going to be somebody who will challenge how much you've truly grown.
Exactly. No. I agree. There's always going to be people that's going to challenge us. Even there's going to be people that we've never met or spoken to that's out there to challenge us. Yeah.
So that's
why do we challenge ourselves? Challenge ourselves.
And that's why I said I don't think we ever reach 100% success on that.
Yeah.
We come close, but again, there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to prove us wrong.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. So on that note, I'm going to end this. We will be back next week, 4th of June next week.
I know.
Yeah, a day before our daughter's birthday. So, yeah, which turns big 13. Shut up. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. If definitely subscribe, definitely share, and we will see you on the flip side.